Board of Parks and Recreation Commissioners of Kansas City, Missouri meeting for October 22nd, 2024 is hereby called to order. Will Secretary Houston please call roll?
Commissioner Smith,
Present.
Commissioner Taylor,
Present.
and Commissioner Meyer.
Present.
President Hayden,
Present.
Commissioner Contreras is present, Director Cotton.
Here.
I'd like to start this meeting by welcoming a new member to our board, Michael Meyer. Now that I'm a year into the role on this board, I can attest you are making quite the commitment to our city and its residents, so I thank you for your willingness to serve and look forward to working with you.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
I'd also like to acknowledge past Commissioner Tom Gurentz, who is a steadfast member of this board for the past year. Commissioner Gurentz always told me how he had wanted to serve on the Parks and Recreation Board since the 80s, and so I'm incredibly grateful he got to achieve that goal, and I thank him for all of the time and dedication he put into this board over the past year. We will miss him, and we wish him well, and as Secretary Houston always says, once a commissioner, always commissioner. The first item on the agenda is the approval of the October 8th, 2024 board minutes. Do any of my fellow board members have any changes or comments to this item?
None. Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Items passed. Next item on the agenda is a bittersweet one for those of us on the board and also the Parks and Recreation Department staff. Deputy Director Richard Allen is retiring from the department on October 31st following 25 years of exemplary service. I'm going to turn it over to Director Cotton to share some remarks.
Yes. It is always difficult to say goodbye to staff that have made a positive impact on the department. Richard Allen joined the department in 1999 as a landscaped architect. A few months after Richard came to the department, I joined him as the director of the then Brush Creek Community Center, known today as the Mary Williams Neal Community Center. My memories of my meetings with Richard then, as my thoughts are of him today, was that he had high integrity, was knowledgeable, steadfast, and dedicated to the department. Richard was promoted in 2003 to Landscape Architect 2, promoted again in 2004 to Senior Landscape Architect, and again in 2014 to Senior Planner. In 2018, he was once again promoted to Manager of Park Planning and Design Services, and finally in 2022, he was promoted to Deputy Director of Parks and Recreation. His integrity, his knowledge, his steadfastness, and his dedication were needed to help stabilize the department at a time when those attributes were sorely needed. Richard has been involved in multiple PIAC projects, multiple high-profile capital improvement projects, and recently helping to establish multiple master plans that, when tied together, will allow us to draw the map by which we will move the department forward for all of the citizens of Kansas City. Richard, it has been an honor and a pleasure to work with you. It is my sincere hope that the next chapter of your life leaves landmarks for others to follow as you have left them here. You have left a long-standing legacy with the Kansas City Parks and Recreation Department, and for the citizens of Kansas City that will be unmatched. Thank you for your service, thank you for your dedication, and best wishes in your well-earned and well-deserved retirement.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, commissioners. I always thought it was cool when these Parks and Rec employees that have worked with the department for years would come to the park board and be recognized at retirement. I always told myself I'm going to do that, and I consider it an honor. And just want to I want to thank my wife Kelly, my son Josh, my daughter Whitney, and then my daughter Bridget that's in Dallas for their support and understanding. Anybody in the Parks and Rec field, their family knows that they're committed and they love their family, but their job is going to be evening meetings, there's going to be events on the weekends, so they kind of had to share, and they've been great. Also, I want to thank the people that kind of mentored me and that were supportive and nice and in your corner. You need those people to advance in any job. My mom and dad raised 9 kids in South Kansas City. My dad was a route man for Walker Towel and Laundry. My mom worked nights at Baptist Hospital. You know, they showed us how to get up every day, go to work, do the job, come back home, take care of your kids. I remember driving with my mom along the Paseo to meet my dad on payday to pick up his check to get it in the bank before the check's cleared. I remember seeing the fountains and the monuments along the Pacelle and those big houses. I remember one nostalgic drive with my dad after a Royals game on Mother's Day. It was my mom and two of my brothers. He said, "Let me show you the lagoon at Swope Park." Took us 2.5 hours to drive around the lagoon that day, but we were, we saw it. I remember seeing a little picture, and it was me as a toddler, but it was with my family. And it was from the Gillum Park Santa Claus holiday celebration. I remember hanging out in Minor Park, Swope Park, playing Frisbee with friends, hacky sack, nobody knows what hacky sack is anymore, and then throwing the football around. Going to the zoo as a kid. I remember my first date with Kelly. I said, "Hey, you want to go see Julian Lennon at Starlight?" We listened to Julian Lennon, but we did not have tickets. I had a blanket, and she says, "Are you kidding me?" And then liked to drive Blue River Road, fished in Blue River. I played baseball at Clark Ketteman. And then when I was a kid, I would tag along with my oldest brothers and sisters, and we went to Warford Elementary School, where the Parks and Rec put on a summer program for kids. And so when I didn't think much about any of these events, growing up, but what they did is they left some lasting memories, and they all had the common denominator of Kansas City Parks and Rec involved. Fast forward, got a degree in landscape architecture. That gave me an opportunity to apply for the job with Kansas City Parks and Rec. It's been a great opportunity to work for Kansas City Parks and Rec for the past 25 years. I thank Director Cotton for the opportunity to serve in a leadership role as the Deputy Director. Over those years, I worked with many dedicated employees throughout the city departments. And some of the most dedicated and loyal workers within the city are the employees from Parks and Recreation. During this 25 years, there's been 32 Park Board Commissioners, 4 directors. I love Kansas City and what Parks and Rec does to make the city a better place. I just want to end with, some words of wisdom for the current staff is work smart, show up every day, do your best, stay humble, and keep making memories for people using the parks. And thanks for the journey.
Thank you.
Heidi's time. You play all the golf you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. 1, 2, 3, smile. Smile again. Keep smiling. All right.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
All right, Deputy Director Allen, I've appreciated your longevity with the department, and we will all miss your institutional knowledge, that's for sure.
Yes.
And we wish you well. All right, the next item on the agenda is Resolution Number 32664, considering board approval of the Parks and Recreation Department fiscal year 2025 to 2026 budget submittal. Financial Manager Terrence Williams is here to speak.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. We have before you today the framework for the FY26 budget. From last year, we've had a few changes through decision packages, 2 decision packages to be exact. One of them is adding $2 million for expenses and $2 million for revenue to the golf fund. And this is something that we haven't done in previous fiscal years, and we've always went before a city council to ask for those extra expenditures and revenue. So we're just trying to do this on the front end this time. The next decision package will be the addition of just about $200,000 dedicated solely to programming through the general fund for Bruce R. Watkins Cultural Heritage Center. Some other increases through the parks tax includes some mowing. Our mowing cycles will stay the same, but we because of cost of goods and services, that number has increased a little bit. And so those are the significant additions to the budget for the FY26. Any questions?
Now, I want to thank you, Terrence, for your diligence in walking us through this line by line. So thank you to you and your team for all your effort thus far. Move to approve.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Items passed. Thank you, Terrence. Next item on the agenda is resolution number 32665, considering board approval of amendment number 1 to the cooperative agreement with the Missouri Department of Natural Resources for the Bruce R. Watkins Cultural Heritage Center. Jennifer is going to speak on this one.
So Brett is out. I'm Jennifer Judd, the Superintendent of Community Services, and I oversee Bruce R. Watkins Cultural Heritage Center. So this is an amendment to our cooperative agreement with the Department of Natural Resources, the state, to extend that agreement by a year. So that is the amendment. There are no other changes to this agreement.
Any questions?
Move to approve. Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Items passed. The next item on the agenda is resolution number 32666, considering board approval of a facility use without concession agreement with Hogan Preparatory Academy for the use of Southeast Community Center and Mary Williams Neal Community Center for basketball practice. Jennifer, please proceed.
Thank you. So this is facility use agreement without concessions. We've been partnered with Hogan Preparatory Academy for a couple years now. They rent out gym space from us at Southeast Community Center and Mary Williams Neal Community Center for girls and boys basketball. The agreement is projected to be a total compensation of $8,737.50 and runs from November 13th to February 27th, 2025.
Any questions?
Questions here. Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Items passed. The next item on the agenda is resolution number 32667, considering board approval of a cooperative agreement with De La Salle Education Center to provide up to 5 student work-study positions at Southeast Community Center. Ms. Drett.
Thank you. So similar to our agreement with Cristo Rey, we have some students that will be working at Southeast Community Center with our center director Tila and her staff. So we are excited to start this agreement. It will run from for their spring semester starting in January and ending in March. And we hope to continue this as well.
Great.
Excited to see this. Mm-hmm. It's great. Move to approve. Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Items passed. Next item on the agenda is resolution number 32668, considering board approval of an agreement with Jackson County Parks and Recreation for the use of Greg Kleiss Community Center for basketball practice. Ms. Drett.
Thank you. Another partnership that we've had for quite some time, Jackson County Parks and Recreation rents space from us for basketball practice at Greg Kleiss Community Center throughout the winter, starting in December, ending on March 29th for a total of $2,250.
Any questions? All right.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Items passed. Next item on the agenda is resolution number 32669, considering board approval of a facility use without concessions agreement with Sporting Kansas City Academy for the use of Southeast Community Center for youth soccer practice. Ms. Jett, please proceed.
Thank you. Another facility use agreement for the gym space at Southeast. This will run from November 12th to February 6th, and we anticipate total compensation of $2,475.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Items passed. Thank you, Ms. Jett. All right, next item on the agenda is resolution number 32670, considering board approval of a cooperative agreement with the Pendleton Heights Neighborhood Association for improvements to Maple Park. Chief Engineer James Wong is the sponsor of this memo.
Commissioners, Pendleton Heights neighborhood received a Rebuild KC grant and a Neighborhood Empower grant to make improvements in Maple Park. They plan to build a walking trail and then regraded volleyball courts there. So under the agreement, they will be responsible for managing the project and will be reviewing the plans and provide a construction inspection. So there's no cost to KC Parks. So a few months ago, we completed a master plan for Castle Park, and we're working with the neighborhood to start implementing those recommendations in the Castle Park.
It's really great to see the level of involvement from the community, so shout out to the community.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right.
Move to approve?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Items passed. Next item on the agenda is resolution number 32671, considering board approval of a bid award to Leith & Sons for improvements to Hodge Park and Platt Purchase Park in the amount of $3,145,580.29. Mr. Wong.
Commissioners, pickleball is gaining popularity. So this project will add 8 pickleball courts at Platt Purchase, and it will also add another 8 courts at Hodge and a Waterline Hodge. So on September 25th, 3 bids were received. Leith & Sons provided the lowest responsible bid. And as part of the bid package, we also include alternate one, which is for 2 restaurants at Hodge Park, and we have enough funding for both the pickleball and the restroom. So this project is funded with Council District 1 Pike funding and Council District 1 Parks Geo Bond and Show Creek TIF. So the MBWB goals were 15 and 15, and then they were met and approved by CREO.
Thank you.
Great. About how much, and I may have missed this, about how much of, I know we recognize that Hodge Park is the second largest and Platt Purchase is another large. About how much space will this take up? I'm just curious. Do you know?
I don't know exactly.
But it's just going to be 1 court.
Yeah, so it's 8 courts. So there are a lot of, so it's 8 pickleball courts in Hodge, and then another 8 courts in Platt Purchase. So the location of Hodge is, as you point the entrance to Hodge, that's just north of the playground. And then the restaurant will go, between the playground and then the pickleball courts.
So we're saying that it will be 8 different courts per park?
8 courts per park. So,
But
But you can get about 4 pickleball courts on 1 standard tennis court, so it's
Gotcha.
not a big
Yeah,
area.
So it's essentially 4 tennis courts?
Small.
yeah, small.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
2 in each park.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, just wanted to get an idea about how much space
Yeah.
it's taking up. Okay. Still leaving a lot of room for green space and open fields.
Yes, ma'am. Mhm.
Okay. All right, move to approve?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Items passed. Next item on the agenda is resolution number 32672, considering board approval to terminate the memorandum of understanding with the Kansas City Public School District for repurposing the former Ashland School site. Deputy Director Allen.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. With declining enrollment, there was 6 schools that the Kansas City Public Schools closed, and we entered into a cooperative agreement in early 2000 for the use of those schools, and some of those have become parks. The one at Ashland, we're asking that this contract be terminated, and then that'll allow them to repurpose that location in a different way. So, be glad to answer any questions.
No questions here. Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Items passed. Thank you. The next item on the agenda is resolution number 32673, considering board approval of an agreement with the Missouri Department of Conservation for conservation management of Jerry Smith Park. Environmental Manager Stephen Van Ryn is here to speak.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. We have been lucky to have a close working relationship with MDC and Kansas City Wildlands to manage some of our natural sites we have. Jerry Smith Park being one of them, has one of the few remnant prairies that's in an urban setting. We have reconstructed prairie there too. It's a lot of acres, and over the years, it's been difficult to apply the correct management practice at the right time. Timing is really important when managing these sites. So MDC's offered to step up and help. So between MDC's staff and equipment and expertise and our in-house staff, equipment and expertise, we hope to have more timely application of management practices to eliminate the invasion of the prairie with woody species and invasive species out there and return the reconstructed prairie back to the condition we were hoping it would be in. So this would be an opportunity to pour more resources and expertise on that site.
Sounds great.
Any questions?
Any questions?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Items passed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen.
Final item on the agenda is resolution number 32674, considering board approval to name the trail in Buckeye Greenway Park the Teresa Lynn Reinard Trail. Deputy Director Allen.
This item is to, we had a request from Daniel Reinert to name Buckeye Greenway Park in honor of Terry Reinert, former Parks and Rec Director. Staff made a recommendation to name the trail within the park in honor of Terry. And we've closed out our public, acceptance of comments. And so at this point, I'd be glad to answer any question, or the board can move forward with making a recommendation. Thank you.
Any comments or questions?
No, thank you all for your diligence.
All right, do I have a motion to approve?
I would like to put forth an amended resolution to rename Buckeye Greenway Park to Teresa Lynn Reinert Park.
I second that.
All right. We've got a revised motion to rename Buckeye Greenway Park the Teresa Lynn Reinard Park. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Nay. This item has not. Oh, sorry, any abstentions?
Yeah. I'm abstaining.
Thank you. All right, so this item has not passed. I will now ask Director Cotton to give the director's update to the board. We had 2 yes and 1 no.
Yeah, because we have a quorum.
Well, since we have a quorum, 2 to 1 is okay? Oh, okay, I'm learning. All right, then this item has passed. Okay, my apologies. We haven't come across this yet. So, all right, the item has passed, and the Buckeye Greenway Park will be renamed the Teresa Lynn Reinard Park. All right, now I will ask Director Cotton to give his update.
Yes, at 9th and Van Brunt, construction has started on the facility renovations. The Martin Luther King Park pedestrian bridge and the Bruce Watkins Connector Park project. The public meetings were held on October 17th at the Mary Williams Neal Community Center. The Paseo Stairs project, MWBE participation plans have been submitted to CREO for approval. Populace is addressing comments from CREO related to WBE participation. Blues Park, the skate rink project has been advertised for bids. Starlight Zoo parking lot and grading work has started. Prospect Soccer Field construction has started. Holmes Park skate rink repairs construction has been completed. Paseo Gateway intersection project is substantially complete and a ribbon cutting ceremony is being scheduled. Strathbury Trail, all drainage repairs are completed. Brush Creek Culture Heritage Trail, plaza construction is expected to begin in the fall. Tower Park trail construction is completed. Sheila Kemper Dietrich Park tennis court replacement construction is underway. Holmes Park Playground construction is substantially completed. We held the 160th anniversary event for the Battle of the Big Blue and Battle of Westport on October 19th. And we will close out with a few comments from Richard on 2 projects that he was very involved with.
It's going to be short and sweet. So one is the citywide master plan project, and then the other is the Kessler Park project. Both of these projects were recognized at the Missouri American Planning Association, and they both won awards. And so I think that these are two good projects that are good examples that shows that Kansas City Parks is committed into funding the proper planning and citizen input on projects. We're committed to hiring the best firms to do this work, and then also we're committed to engaging the public. And so also we have a great professional staff here led by James Wong and then also by Lisa Treese. And so I think you have good professionals in place and the commitment to fund these type of projects. And I think these will, you know, the Kessler Park project is going to help guide funding for the next 20 years. And with the support from the public, that park will continue to improve and more people will be using it, and it'll be a safer park. The citywide master plan, that plan had great community engagement, and then we have 221 parks and over 12,000 acres of parkland. You need a good planning document to move forward. So I think the citywide master plan was done by Landwork Studio and the Kessler plan was done by Hoxie Studio, but it was a commitment of the community and then also professional staff here at Parks and Rec. So thank you. So.
Can I say, Deputy Director Allen, just it has been a pleasure working with you, and I think that your illumination of these really important pieces under your leadership or with your contribution and leadership is just part of your legacy. So thank you so much. And to the team.
Yes.
I'd also like to echo that, you know, going back to us sitting at the Boys and Girls Club Kids Night Out and learning more about you and just your passion for parks. It is a great loss for us, but just looking forward to see what you do in your next chapter.
Don't be a stranger. And thank you for leaving the department better than you found
Yes.
it. I think you just said the citywide master plan and Kessler, those are really going to do great things for us moving forward. So thank you for getting those done before you departed. So, okay, with that, we will move into public hearing. If we have any members of the public who wish to address the board, public testimony is limited to 2 minutes, and we have a timer running, and we'll end your testimony when that timer goes off. We've only had one person sign in, and it's Director Reinert, so I will let her come up. Well, okay, well, thank you, Director Reinert. Anyone else who didn't get a chance to sign in?
Yeah.
Okay, come on up.
Best
I
baby.
love we have a
best baby.
visitor, too, yeah.
Best quiet baby.
So I moved here. Hi, I'm Tyke Brianna. I'm from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Moved here about 2 years ago. We're on 67th and Paseo. So our park is the William, I just looked it up too because I never checked the name. Dunn Park? Yes, that one. That is the neighborhood park. If you walk out to our street, that's what we're going to see. I don't feel safe taking her to that park. We've had issues over there where dead animals, so we had to call 311 to get those picked up. And we've also seen a difference between going to Johnson County for our parks than here. And so, of course, hearing all the work, I'm like, this is great, so I'm just going to bring my input in. But we have to take her to Meadowbrook. We go over to Harmon Park, and for the kids in the neighborhood, our park looks kind of boring. It doesn't have even the signs that the zoo has. They have those pretty little like A, B, C, D and the sign language things. Those aren't at that park. Our tennis court and our basketball park just looks dead. And it feels like our neighborhood is dying out at this point, that it's ready for some revamping. And so for us, I'm like, well, we're seeing the school districts closing down, we're seeing the parks aren't great, so do we move over to the Kansas side for her safety, or do we stay here and tough it out and just continue to take 10 minutes, 15 minutes, even 25 minutes for a better park? So I said I'd bring my butt here with her and show you she is an active kid. She loves to go outside, and it would be nice to have a park that is rebuilt and for toddlers and for the 5 to 10, I mean, or 12. When you look at the thing, it says 2 to 5 and 6 to 12 for those, and we don't have that at our current park. They also don't have the swings that are for her size. It's just the big kid swings, and they're also outdated. So that's just my biggest issue, and I'm seeing that around Kansas City. Gillum Parks is a little bit better, but I think they can have some revamping as well. So I wanted to come and bring her so you guys could see that the kids are the ones that are in need for these parks. Definitely with that being gas money I have to spend to go 10, 12 minutes over.
Yeah.
Loose is good, but they're also not toddler friendly. So of course we have to go to a toddler friendly park. So it's like an extra thing I have to add. So definitely wanted to come and talk to y'all about that.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Taki, for that. You said Dunn Park?
Yes, that's our park that's 2 minutes away.
Okay. And what I will say, it'll be great perhaps if we can follow up to give some insight. She's speaking her mind, yes.
She's
Come
chiming
on.
in. I love it.
And
Yeah.
this is my part.
important. Yeah.
But I want to make sure that we can maybe provide a line of sight. Yeah. And then also, thank you for your voice. It is this type of advocacy that is in perfect partnership with systems like this, especially as big as this system can be.
Yes.
So thank you for that. So I would love to make sure that we're following up with support in getting you some line of sight on what some of the park plans are. As you can hear, there is a master plan and there's some park projections, but also make sure we get your input. And then I think I heard Secretary Houston talk about the power of Payak. And so we want to make sure you get connected.
Yes, and I actually met with the mayor when he was seeing Stacey Abrams.
Oh, great.
Oh, at the library.
So he gave me one of the emails to somebody, but I'm a busy mom. But at the same time, I got my bachelor's in criminal justice with a minor in psychology and political science. So I'm very active. That's what we want to do, and we teach her the same thing. You go and speak your voice whenever you need to.
Well, and as I've said in prior meetings, it's hard to get here at 2 o'clock on a Tuesday, so I thank you for making the time for this.
Woke
and-
her up for her nap. And I was like, we're
Oh,
coming.
wow.
And
Okay, that is dedication. So
yes, it was on
thank-
my list of places to go.
So thank you, and as Commissioner Smith says, we will make sure, now that we've got your contact information, to follow up, but we appreciate you coming and bringing this here.
We're also going to stop the violence event that's happening tonight, too. So
Well, thank you.
Go, Mama, go. Thank you.
All right, anyone else? All right, with that, may I have a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Our next meeting will be held November 19th, 2024 at 2 o'clock p.m. We will not be having the November 5th meeting due to the election. Thank you all.